This is Aromie here. Welcome back to our live Baxter DLC. We're here after our date with Baxter. That didn't go so well. It's very awkward.
But
however, oh my god. You look so cute blushing. However, if you're willing to, I would like to ask for a second chance. I can take you out again for drinks tomorrow night, or rather any night you have free. I like how he says night. I promise the next one will be better. You're so cute. How could we say no to that face? A dusting of blush rose in his cheeks while he barreled through everything he needed to say before he could get a single word in. Finally, Baxter paused to breathe. He blinked, trying to absorb the magnitude of everything he'd said. Now that he laid all his cards on the table, there was nothing left to do but anxiously wait. Above all else, he had wedged open a space for you two to talk, and that was a relief. There was nothing terrible what you did. Don't feel bad about that. You don't have to try so hard to impress me. I had a great time today. I'd love to go out with you again.
really?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? I know you're embarrassed it happened, but I don't feel the same way. We had fun with a few problems that all worked out. You're far too kind. His gaze was gentle. If only for a second look, Baxter swiftly resumed his usual grin and confidence.
Very well.
I'll be in touch later with a specific time then, and potentially a suggestion for what you might want to wear. Have a lovely rest of your day with your family. Tell your mothers and sister I said hello. I will. Excellent. See you again soon. He waved goodbye and earnestly seemed to be in a much better mood than only a few minutes ago. You waved too, even though his turned back couldn't see. Bye. He steadily walked home, and once he was safely inside, you couldn't hold your frown in any longer. All morning, Baxter acted as if he had to be the one who needed to earn approval. To him, you weren't individuals getting to know each other. He was an outsider who had jumped through hoops or be excluded. That was the impression you'd gotten. It was more than upsetting. Maybe he took it that hard because he was so tired. That felt like wishful thinking, but you thought so anyway. It was possible Baxter would be more comfortable after he rested, and if he wasn't, then you hope he would allow. Then you hope that he would allow you to show him that your company didn't have to be like that. The rest of the day was focused on your family, and it overall was a great one. It was nice spending the afternoon with your aunt and uncle, moms, and Liz. And you remembered to tell them Baxter said hi. You were half asleep when you finally made it home and collapsed onto your bed. Soon morning had come again. The afternoon that followed moved strangely fast and slow because you knew there was another day at the end of it. Exactly as promised, you received a text with a set hour to meet him at his condo. Baxter informed you that it was going to be late when you'd be leaving, so he recommended you have a dinner as usual. Apparently this place did not serve meals, only drinks and appetizers. Interesting. Along with that, Baxter made the eyebrow-raising suggestion that you should wear formal attire. Even more interesting. He included an assurance that he'd be prepared when you were ready to leave. During dinner, you mentioned that you're going out for drinks with Baxter later. Your moms were still commenting on your plans when you left to get ready. Even a few teasing remarks over the dress code floated upstairs with you. When you opened your drawer, your mind was made up. You wear something friendly, formal. Just wear formal. It was odd putting on some of your nicer things when you had no clue what you were even dressing up for, but there was also something exciting about having that mystery too. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you admired the sophisticated person staring back. It wasn't often that you did this. Slowly but surely, you were figuring out this growing up thing. There were a few minutes left before you had to leave, so you made sure that you had everything that you might need when you were out. You ran through the essentials: phone, house keys, money, ID. As bad as you felt for Baxter, you didn't want to run into a similar problem of forgetting something important. It was a good reminder for both of you to be careful. Once you knew it was all there, you went downstairs and waved to your moms on the way out of the house. Their goodbyes and well wishes reached you as you locked up. You walked down the street and arrived at Baxter's house. Quite literally seconds after ringing the doorbell, you heard the rattle of the doorknob turning. Aw, he's so handsome! The door casually opened, not too fast, not too slow, and there on the threshold was Baxter, though this time he wasn't in his pajamas, but instead a full suit that was naturally also black and white. Hello, thank you for coming. You took a deep breath. So much for looking the part. Honestly, you intended to dress properly, but Baxter was still in another stratosphere in comparison. That suit was probably tailor-made.
You're incredible.
You're fantastic, Michiko. I can't tell you enough how delighted I am that you're accompanying me tonight. You're sure? Absolutely. You'll be one of the best dressed attendees there. You nodded and then let out a tiny sigh of relief. If Baxter didn't have a problem with the clothes you picked, then you weren't going to waste your energy wearing either. This looks very good on you, and this suits you. She channeling every bit of your mom's pun power. I love puns. You teasingly finished your joke by waving your hands in front of him. Baxter snorted and instantly tried hiding his face by turning away from you. Oh, you're so cute. Thank you very much. I had a feeling I might need this while I was vacationing here. Now that you've gotten a good eyeful, you could discern that Baxter was truly himself. The exhaustion and the embarrassment from yesterday morning's adventure were entirely removed from his features. It's nice to see you've gotten some rest. Thanks for noticing. He flicked his stray hair into place and winked. He laughed at his playful display. He's so gorgeous! Bro. I'm feeling quite rested this evening, so there shouldn't be any pesky yawning interrupting us. Shall we go? This isn't something we'd want to be late for. Lead the way. As you both climbed into his car and were off. Wait, and so. Baxter drove you out of the neighborhood. Your attention lingered on the starry sky for a moment, able to see a good view of the moon until you took a lazy turn. When you turned back to Baxter, his expression said little. It's not offering no obvious hints about your destination. The only thing you could pound on was that this place would serve some form of liquid, probably. You decided to take a more active approach rather than worry about it. Your gaze fell to the rearview mirror. Baxter's focused eyes reflected back at you as you made up your mind on what to ask. Baxter, where are we going? Well, he diligently stared at the road, not yet out of the residential streets of Sunset Bird. You caught a glimpse of his excitement as he continued talking. If you recall, I mentioned how we saw some shows while on my trip within a trip. You could call that my inspiration. Once you graciously accepted my invitation, I began the endeavor to search for a particular performance we could see together.
To be honest,
I had high hopes for what I could manage, even with such short notice, and happily I doubt you shall be disappointed. He let his words settle, drumming up the anticipation. Coincidentally, the car rolled to a stop at a light. He turned to you with a proud grin. Tonight, we'll be seeing a live show featuring comedy of errors style romance. His foot pressed on the gas and he turned on the main road. A show? It wasn't anything you were expecting, but then again, it was Baxter. You were getting the impression he liked to surprise you. However, something was beginning to bother you. You'd agreed to a specific invitation and were prepared for drinks, not a play. What about the drinks? Watching a show and getting a drink with someone sort of feel like different things. You understood that Baxter was striving for a mystery here, but still. I'm very pleased you asked. Baxter's smile grew. He had expected your reaction. They do serve drinks, an excellent selection from what I found, and it will only be drinks. There's no food on the menu. He shrugged his shoulders, not particularly finding that to be a loss. You were glad you weren't hungry. However, as promised, the drinks are crucial to the experience. You see, this isn't at some grand arena. You'll find tonight's entertainment is at the spectacularly immersive setting of a jazz bar. All patrons will witness the story unfold in that very room. His voice lowered, theatrically so, fitting for the topic of conversation.
Does that sound alright?
Also, if you'd like, it's possible for the actors to interact with you directly. It depends. Cool, seriously, that's amazing. Thank you, Baxter. It must not have been easy to get tickets. Oh, that sounds social. How very Baxter word of you. I feel like this.
Oh?
Chick, are you accusing me of being predictable? What can I say? You have a brand. He cackled at his expression. It's like between an offended cat and an amused spy, trying but failing to contain his feelings. While you hadn't expected this specifically, an interactive show at a jazz bar fit what you had learned of his taste. You're excited to experience what will come next, content to keep seeing more Baxter-style activities. Baxter drove into the heart of the city, passing by the twinkling lights of the urban night until he pulled into a public parking lot. He switched his phone's map app to walking mode. It's an 8-minute stroll from here. He shrugged, not needing to point out that walking tended to be your main form of transportation anyways. Both of you exited the car and Baxter made a note of where exactly he was leaving it. Luckily, the lot was well lit and located in a busy area. It'd be hard to miss. Sorry, now I'm the one fucking yawning. He led you across the road and then followed the sidewalk until his phone proclaimed that you had reached the correct building. Baxter got the door for you. Inside, he switched his phone off the map, but continued tapping away at it. Now where is it? He huffed as he scrolled the screen. You could immediately tell when he found what he was looking for from his reaction. He finally relaxed into his normal state of friendly nonchalance. Curious, you poked your head closer to read what it was. It made sense when you saw it was a digital confirmation of his purchased tickets. In front of you was a small line where a man would check tickets before waving people onward. Baxter slipped into the back and you waited until it'd be needed. I'm glad we've arrived on time. Missing the show is likely the only chance of this event going awry. Awry? It'll be alright no matter. It'll be alright no matter. I mean it. The other guests in line were dressed to the nines, some were even in vintage clothes. Baxter's previous advice was correct. The wait wasn't too long. After chatting with Baxter for a moment, it was his turn to show his digital tickets. The usher was young, probably only a few years older than you. The bags around his eyes spoke to the fact that this was nowhere near the start of his day. These are for you and your friend, right? You nodded and took a step next to Baxter, making it clear that you were here together. Cool. Thanks for coming in. We are thankful for you having us. Baxter shoved his phone into his pocket for a good once he got approval. He inspected the two of you and tilted his head to the side. Here's some ground rules before you enter the show. Everyone gets them. He began explaining the guidelines as succinct. What the fuck is this word? List that he'd obviously said hundreds of times before. For the most part, the rules wanted you to act as a polite human being. You could do that. Last, if you want to actually participate in the show, you can take one of these necklaces. He pointed out a box full of glowing jewel necklaces. Each was gaudy enough that anyone wearing one would be noticeable in the crowd. Wearing one of these beauties means that you're part of the same world as the actors are. No necklace, no participation. The actors will treat you like an invisible audience member. You can still speak out if you're suddenly inspired, but nobody's going to put focus directly on you. So any takers?
My pleasure.
Okay, Baxter, go ahead. This is out of my element. It'll be my pleasure. Baxter volunteered immediately, and the usher pushed a necklace from the box. You shook your head. The usher handed Baxter his necklace and didn't say a word against your decision. Enjoy the show. He's more extroverted than I am. I was gonna say he's too extroverted for me, but that's a lie. You're waved off and allowed to enter in the showroom, past heavy double doors. The showroom was a sight to behold. From floor to ceiling, it was lit up, yet none of that was bright enough to be blinding. The bar was full of expensive bottles and gilded engravings. The back had a pit for musicians, large enough for a full band to play. The instruments were already set up. Bro. This is beautiful. We head to the bar and seated at the two empty stools at the end. The booths along the walls were already filled with groups of other guests, laughing and clinking glasses. They had a full house. This was a popular event, maybe a bigger deal than what Baxter had presented it as. The ages varied. Some of the crowd was made up of fresh-faced 20-somethings, while others were silver-haired elders. You may have been the youngest in the room. And almost everyone was dressed up, sequin dresses, fitted suits, and expensive jewelry as far as I could see. No broad generalization to be made about the kind of people who would watch a show at a jazz club, other than most of them knew how to dress. The few exceptions in casual clothes stuck out between all the elaborate, well-coiffed looks. The second usher bowed and left you alone, just for the bartender to appear out of nowhere and pick it right up where they left off. He passed each of you a drink menu, smooth and practiced. Nice to see you tonight. Just let me know when you're ready to order. Of course. The bartender inclined his head cordially and then busied himself with polishing a glass with white cloth. The jazz bar took the immersion seriously. Even the guys serving drinks had the proper aesthetic for the world the show took place in. He wore a subtle eyeliner, and there was something about how he carried himself that made him seem like he'd wandered off a movie set, especially with highly coordinated, shabby clothes for a uniform. He shared a look with Baxter before examining the menu. From first glance, it was impressive. In total, it held 5 pages of drinks, each with detailed descriptions, and some even had photos. You turned to the last section, entirely for non-alcoholic drinks. You read the blurbs, enjoying both the descriptiveness and the sense of humor. A few minutes later, a waiter in full suit turned up. His tie was a muted maroon, and the only thing separating him from his clients was his pad for taking orders. You wondered why he approached you rather than leaving you to the bartender, maybe because it was so busy. Welcome to our show. Can I get you anything, or do you need some more time? Baxter leaned forward in his chair, no hesitation. I would like a baby Bellini, please. Baxter passed the menu back. The waiter took it with a polite nod, then turned to you. You glanced over your options with one final read-through, and then said you would like sparkling cider, elderflower cordial, a fruit-only martini, tropical fizz, Shirley Temple, bro. I didn't know this was going to be an option. I always get Shirley Temples at a restaurant because, I don't get that at home. I could make it at home, but I don't have the red part. I had the Sprite. Or the maraschino cherries. I don't have that either. Cherry cola, whiskey, sour mocktail, virgin pina colada, Arnold Palmer, Virgin Mary, citrus sunshine mocktail, baby Bellini 2, 0-proof margarita, just water, nothing at all. No, Shirley Temple. He handed your menu over, and the waiter put it with Baxter, so he inclined his head politely one more time. Thank you, esteemed guests. I'll return shortly. The waiter sauntered off and vanished through the side door away from the bar. Shirley Temple. This is where we're gonna stop though. This date, Oh my god, I love Baxter so much. He might just be a little better than Cove personally for me, but maybe I'm just delusional. But for sure he's a little better than Derek. Derek was a childhood friend to lovers, which is very comforting. That's like my second favorite trope. But Baxter, he's just giving me like just new adventures, and he's like the mysterious guy trope that I really love. And I'm quite curious what he looks like in the future, because there's gonna be a time skip where like get older and stuff. But all these experiences with him is so like it's so perfect, and like the best summer romance type of situation, and then the kind of guy you think about and like, damn, where's he now? What would we be if I found him again? Kind of situation. It's very romantic. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.